Hi folks, welcome back to the Carver's Wood Shop. This is Arlene once again, and I'm going to show you how to make a wooden strop like what I have here. This was a store-bought one many years ago. I believe this one here is just about 7.5 to 8 inches long. Okay, so it's not real long. But what I have here is a strop that I have used, and this is a nice size to put into your toolbox. But I'm going to make a super duper one here because I like something that's a bit longer that I don't have to flip it over as often. And so this is actually, if you can see it, it's about 22.5 inches long from the handle to the end. And then I just went to a local harness shop here in Lancaster County, or any horse place that does saddles and that, and they usually have a lot of scrap pieces. I bought these 2 scrap pieces for like $4. It's about 2 inches wide, I believe. Let me make sure of that. Yes, it's 2 inches wide. And all I did was I got a plank, a piece of pine wood. I ripped it down the center so it's not real thick, and I measured 2 inches and cut it out. And I'm going to paste the one on the one side, and I'm going to paste the other on the other side. So what you need to use is just regular rubber cement, and this stuff smells lovely. But what you want to do is you want to go on one side, and you really want to get the whole surface. Okay, so we're going to do this quickly here in front of you. And I learned this when I was an armed guard. I was arming a jewelry store at night. They were doing renovations, and they were doing a facelift at this one jewelry store. And I learned a lot by just watching the workers and what they used. And I asked the one guy, what do you use to put this, this veneer fake wood on the cases? And they said rubber cement glue. And what you do is you do one side, and then you also do the other side. You do both of these, and you let them set up just a tad before you put them together. So you want to use the rough side, the fuzzy side of the leather. And he said a lot of people make the mistake of putting it on right away. So we're just going to let it set for a couple minutes. By the time I get this done, we probably can join it together. And actually, you need to do both sides for it to join correctly. And so he said, let it set up for a while. So I learned a lot of the painting that they did, some tricks there on how to paint the ceilings and things. You can learn everything everywhere if you're willing to ask questions, which I was willing to do. And that was like 3 or 4 nights I did some armed guard work like that, and so it was kind of fun to watch these workers and get some good advice on how to take care of some things here, even at home. So, okay, so we've got both of these done. Let me go down a little ways here yet. All right. Okay. As soon as that is done, what you want to do is flip it over. And I'm going to flip it over this way. And I'm going to try to do it. And he said it is movable right away. It's a little bit palatable to move it around and take it off and reset it. So that was the nice thing I learned about that. So, and then he said you just hold it on there nice and tight. If you can clamp it, you clamp it. But he said it should, see how it's hold on already? See that? So that's one side, and we're going to do the other side real quick. And this is just regular Elmer's stuff here. So we're going to do the other side really quickly. If you have a bandsaw, you can rip this piece of wood right down the center. It was around 22 inches and a half, and I put a little handle on the end here. This is going to be a little bit shorter because I don't have quite the length in the leather, but you can use any size leather as long as you have a nice piece of wood. This really should be a hardwood, but this is all I had out in the shop was this piece of pine, so it worked out pretty good. And just cut it on a bandsaw if you're fortunate to have a bandsaw. If you don't, and really this project would cost me less than $5 to make, so you don't have to buy anything really expensive. I try to keep the beginner in mind. And the other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a real beginner's course For those of you, I'm going to do a real easy project. There's not going to be any painting or anything. I have an idea, so if keep checking with us, we'll get that done. And the songbirds are going to start June 1st. And that's coming up real soon. Again, you want to make sure you do the fuzzy side. Okay, and then once you have this in here, then you can rub your compounds into your leather. You know, the power strap that I showed you earlier is fine to use, but it's not real portable. It is because batteries, you know, it's battery operated drill. But you don't want to drag that with you. This is a nice way to do it. This one here is going to stay in my shop because I keep moving this one around everywhere and I keep misplacing it. So you can make a couple wherever you work and just leave it, which has been handy. And you want to really get the corners, okay? Try to remember to get the corners. Okay, now we're ready to set it up. And so I learned a lot from other people. We always learn. Never too old to learn new things and how to make things. So this is a nice cheap way of doing it. If you're just beginning, it won't cost you a lot of money if you're fortunate enough to have some kind of a shop around. So what we want to do is just lay one end, put the other one down. That's too far. Let's go down a little further. Just like so. And folks, we have a nice big huge, see, it's already on there. Just let it set up overnight. Should be fine. Actually, you can use it right away if you want because it's not going to go anywhere. And there you go, folks. That's a nice, easy way. Now, I know this one's not long enough. It just happened to be like that, but at least I have two nice long pieces of leather to sharpen up my knives. Okay, so, and if you want to make a small one, you can make it any size you want. I would do it no less than what this one is, which is an inch and about an inch and 3/4. So, you know, and I think this thing's about 8 inches long. Okay, so that's a neat little project for you to do. It gets very heavy when you have it all together, but it's a nice one to leave in the shop, which I'm going to do. And it's just another little inexpensive way to make a strop. Bye-bye, folks.